Friday night, you know, it's a different jam, a different vibe. Who's outside here looking to have a little Friday night line? Talk to me, yeah? Are they outside? We out and bad, that's what they say? Go with it. Whoa! Come in, hey, yes. When you wait all day, to mash up the place, When you wait all day, to mash up the place. Blacks come real good with that song, eh? You gotta get Jackie Jacket and Jimmy's Gym Boots, as my partner Maurice Noons like to say. Give Jackie Jacket and Jimmy Gym Boots. Blacks come real good there. Real good. You know what a nice tune too? Oh gosh, I wonder if I have it on this list. Yeah? No? We know we can find what we need to find. Good night. 129 are you all out. You know what I'm doing tonight? Tonight answering questions. Ask your questions. Let me talk. Friday night line. Ask questions and I will answer it as long as I see it in the news feed. And not next week Friday is Valentine's Day. Alright? I have a good piece of information to have. I want to share the video, let people know we're out here. Out and bad. Yeah? You know what else was a nice song that I like? I don't know if it was the same here. Black song, I find. Lego. He come real good with that song. But this was a good tune too. This was a big tune. Tell me if I remember this one. That's so long ago. 6 years ago. This was a...
Girl, how you bad so? How you bad so? How you rude so? I wanna take a little piece of that. Just give me permission to walk you. Hey, cause any whining girl, I don't want to.
When that song come on, if you get on bad,
baby, the way you behave,
not an excuse.
When you whine like that, can nobody to stop you. Oh Lord, I wanna go down. Let me see the waistline go wrong. Bubble to the baseline, you can't sit down. Girl, you can't sit down. Don't stick now, we can't go long. And you got the realest bumper in this town. It's the way you move it up and down. And the size of the shape is the way that you whine and the jiggle of the waist. That bumper is too real, it's dangerous. I wanna whine but it's looking dangerous. I wanna whine but it could be dangerous. I just want to grind on you, girl, it's too real, it's dangerous. I wanna whine but it's looking dangerous. I wanna whine but it could be dangerous. I just want to grind on you, you was born for this. I can feel it all for this. You're walking up and I like it so. I say you was born for this. I love the way you're performing this. When you're whining, baby, oh.
That was a bad tune. Bad tune. When that tune had come out, boy, I say, yes, boy. You come good there, Kerwin. You're welcome good. You all ever hear I played this already so many times, the actual Soca Monarch. Because in the Soca Monarch, he sing a verse for Marshall Boy. And I tell you, I find that was so cool.
Baby, oh, girl, you make me build a sweater, me and wine it.
I find it.
We're feeling like we're floating. I wanna try to speak up, but I don't want to rush you. Oh Lord, oh girl, I wanna go down, go down. Let me see that waistline go wrong, go wrong. Bubble to the baseline, you can't sit down, girl, you can't sit down. Don't speak now, we can't go down. Are you got the realest bumper in this tongue? It's the way you move up and down, not the side. Shake, ways that the wine and the jiggle of your waist. That bumper is too real, it's dangerous. I wanna wine, but I'm looking dangerous. I wanna wine, but you're looking dangerous. And I just want to grind on you, girl, it's too real, it's dangerous. I wanna wine, but you're looking dangerous. I wanna grind, but you're looking dangerous. And I just want to, I say you was born for this. I'm giving my all for this. Sometimes in life, we born for something, but we doesn't realize it until later on in life. I believe now is my time, and I was born for this. Give me love, say, I want to say thanks to the nation for supporting me in this competition. Yo, listen, Mr. HD, tonight you can't beat me. I don't even get until I win this groove. So, Marshall, when I go down, go down. I feel time that I give up the call. All I see, boys, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. You've been in this thing too long. Since you feel this groove, in this town, the people vote the champions. So, time to go, oh, second place, because it's just too real, is it?
I vex, I wasn't there for that. I vex. How are you going, boy? Who outside here tonight? Akeem, you're new to the scene, eh? Sterling and the rest of the crew who are on the live right now will tell you on a Friday night, we used to have a Friday night live, it was just vibes, you know. It was only vibes. It was just, you know, and they had a then the next thing went on, and remember this one?
Tell me what they're fighting for, what they're killing for. We don't need no more now, so tell them wicked people, fire go burn them, fire go burn them. Oh Lord, I say this is the air for love. Fire go burn them, fire go burn them. Oh, silly boy, you ain't mad at all. No, another one just gone. Boy, you beat your chest and smile, say you's a madman. Another young boy fall. Your soul can't rest at night. Oh, you's a bad man. Bad man is a man who is even woman and protect the young ones by any means, Lord. You ain't no bad man, boy, nah. You ain't no bad man. A real bad man is make his own decisions. You don't need anyone, he only needs God. You ain't no bad man, boy, nah. You ain't no bad man. Oh, girl. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Who didn't know I used to be a DJ? I used to be a DJ, you know, long time ago. But Sterling, you hear that smooth mix?
Take it slow, show them who in control. Oh my gosh, careful what you're doing, careful how you're living, baby. This is not a movie. Live your life, but you could take it slow. Take it slow. Oh girl, you will get excited, I know, girl. It's gonna be hard to fight it, baby. Girl, they'll try to pull you down, but I know you are strong. tonight and cry in the morning. No gospel, all I'm saying. Careful what you're doing. Careful how you're living, baby. This is not a movie.
Not a movie at all.
This
song.
How are you? Yeah.
This song,
Yeah. Hey, I know you. Give me the work, with the work, yeah. Give me the work, with the work, yeah. Give me the work, with the work, now. I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work. Sign me up.
I see people want tonight's topics. You all wanted serious. We shift gears one time, you know. We could go very, very serious very quickly. In fact, something serious happened this evening. Somebody sent me something today and it's as serious as it gets. Listen to this.
I ain't come to argue, won't you understand? I like plenty pepper, I'm the pepper man. I like pepper in my lamb, pepper in my ham, pepper on top my bread. Pepper in my pork, tip on my fork, pepper until I dead. Always like my pepper, since the day I born. But I ain't eating nothing that I can't put pepper on. My girlfriend had called me just the other day. As I get the message, went up right away. She had turkey and chicken, both finger licking, pigeon peas and rice. Hello and pastel washed down with sorrel, everything looking nice. She offers some sushi, raw meat I just scorn. So I ain't eating nothing that I can't put pepper on.
Boom! Listen, yes, topic for sure. Alright, so here what we're gonna do. You know we ain't do for a long time? We didn't have a call-in segment for a long time, and Anna Rodriguez just messaged me and suggested that to me. Why we don't let the members call in and have a little say? So if you all would like that, 682-2110, you can call me on WhatsApp, those of you who are on the WhatsApp broadcast, or you find me as Philip Edward Alexander, or 682-2110. Glenn Robinson, boy, this is 11:15. This is beauty rest time. You can't afford to miss it, you know, Glenn. Climb in that bed one time. Pull down them covers. Good night, Lorena. Good night, good night, good night, everybody. All the peppers out and bad tonight. We here, we light, we linemen. Yeah? Anybody who would like to call, you could call in and have your say. Talking to Holder. Somebody let me message Holder and tell her that I'm on live right now, because she out there trying to organizing everybody t-shirts for the Panorama Sunday. All you know we going Pan Sunday. Who not in the Pep Pan posse? You go lie and say it was, you know. Hear what? We go in a crew 9 o'clock in the morning. We have our own t-shirts. The t-shirt free. You can come and drink with us and drinks until drinks done. Of course, it would be nice if you could bring something to add to the cooler system. But we're going to have a line. And it would be cool. All of you who consider yourself peppers, come and take a line with me. If you're interested, 769-4590, 769-4590. That is the number to contact Felicia Holder. She is the one who, let me put that number, 769-4590. It's on the thread. You should see it just about now. And Felicia is the person in charge of this, but we have a nice big squad, plenty good people, and we're gonna have a time. I just realized they have no North Stand, so whatever it is they call it, the Greens. Pep Pan Posse is the baddest line. Dave Lux, come back here. You're watching from the Central African Republic. You're on a plane tomorrow, partner. We need you in that Pep Pan Posse. This be a real good line. 682-2110. Listen, Monday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock Monday morning, sitting in your house, want to watch a live in a law-abiding manner, 6 o'clock in the morning, Philip Edward Alexander and Anthony Defoe live on social media. We launching Pep Talks in the morning, this Monday morning, from 6 to 8. This week is the test week, so they get away with all this. You can stress we all how. We're taking calls every show. We having guests. We're going up against CNC3, TV6, and Synergy. And we want to have the biggest audience, even though we're going to be on social media. We want to have the biggest. Arnold, you're watching me and you're WhatsApping me. So, partner, you have to understand. I'm trying to multitasking. You're asking me when. It's been a while since we did the call-ins. So, let me tell you. I'm answering you here. We used to do all of these things. There was a time I used to do this live video every night at 8. And if 8:15 and I'm not live, people messaging me from all over the world, messaging me and asking me what's going on tonight. So, yeah, that was, and we did that pretty much consistently for over a year. And then it got haphazard because the party gets so big and I got so busy. But it's like days like today. I now come back from Stanmore. Felicia, Satish and the crew down there getting the new studio ready. Satish Ramsaran and Pep Media, come now man. Baxter Cuthbert, Baxter, if you're here now or if you show up on the rerun, get in touch with Satish. We need some lights. Get in touch with Satish. Hey, that is the opening. That is the opening for the show. Sitting in your house. Satish, now we record one time. Sitting in your house, watching TV in a law-abiding manner. Yeah, I round the Savannah taking a run tonight. Who I should bounce up on my partner from the Express. And he run into me, boy. He say, oh God, let me just hear the gunman in your hole. Yeah, Arnold, we used to do that calling regular. And but from Monday morning, 6 to 8, we will be live every Monday, every day, Monday to Friday, 6 to 8, myself and Anthony Defoe and other guest hosts, and we will be doing extensive call-in segments. So spread the word. Kendall Baggy, our chief graphic artist, is working on Pep Talks in the Morning logo right now. Satish Ramsaran and Akil Camps getting the studio ready. I mean, we have such a good crew now. We have such a big team, and it's such a good team. Tell you this. They can't undo this. So I want you to hear this now. PNM candidate in San Fernando West is Faris Al-Rawi. UNC candidate a fella named Sobers. Joel D'Souza and this Nikolai fella jump out themselves and they inside the thing too. Lisa Goben, Lisa, you call.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. You're calling to go live, right? Because you know you're live, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can say hello to everybody.
So, hi everybody. So you did, when you were talking about the Stallmeyer Castle and the White House, you know, I never come across that in any of my history books, right? So what I would like you to do is, if you can probably share where we can get that information.
The history of those buildings?
Yeah, like the
Well, I
story
mean,
behind it.
they were mostly Cocoa Baron bling, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like I say, when I did history, I never really come across that information that you shared.
I will
in the
get
public space.
I will get all the information. The only house that is around the Savannah that is still in the original owner's hands is the most ornate one just before Archbishop's house. I think they used to call it Rumor. Morgan people live there now. I think that's the original family from the very start through the generations. But I'll get that information and share it. Sure, no problem at all.
Yeah, because it was interesting listening to the about the Red House and the President's House and the history behind that with slavery and all of that, right? So
Absolutely.
a lot of young people need to, I mean, I'm older now, but it's still nice to read up on them kind of history.
Absolutely, but the reason people not interested in what's going on in Trinidad, Lisa, is because Trinidad is such a rat hole right now that people just trying to get through the day. But you're correct, and that is something, and we mustn't lose sight of it. And I appreciate that, and I will.
Yeah, and it's good for young people now to understand the history, to know where we're
we
going.
come from, to know where we're going. I agree.
Exactly.
With you. I agree with you. Yeah. Where are you calling us from, Lisa?
From Canada.
Canada. Wow. So you see.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very, very much. Have anything else you'd like to say before you go?
Well, I have a problem with my husband. He seemed to think that you're taking away too much of my time because I tune on to you all the time during the day.
It's a good thing I'm all the way in Trinidad because he might have come to look to put that 2x4 on me.
So he told me, you have to check with Philip because, you're looking for this this first lady position.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Listen. Don't put me in all the thing, Thanks a lot for calling, darling. Nice to hear from you.
No, I tell him you have first, second, and third already, so don't worry.
Tell him we say good night, please.
I will.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. You take care. Have a good night. I'm getting back on to watch the show.
Okay, bye. Yeah.
Bye.
That was a nice initial call from Lisa. Go in there. Anybody else want to call 682-2110 or you could WhatsApp. I know it's late. They have a video of a little baby girl making the rounds, that making a joke about a donkey and calling the donkey Rowley. And I know, what's my WhatsApp number? Again, my number is 868-682-2110. And I know it's supposed to be funny. I know you're coming from a funny place, but I want to tell you something. You mustn't use little children in politics like that. So I got that video shared to me twice. Don't share that with me and don't share it with nobody. Don't, because you see, you'll be encouraging other people to be doing that stupidness too. Let me not use the babies. Let me not use the innocents. And as I say, I'm not judging. I know you're coming from, I know whoever it is did it. You're coming from a you wanted to make a joke? I just saying, don't put the innocence in it. Yeah? So, and here we go. Right. Hello, good evening. Let me just get the speaker on. Hello.
Hi, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir. I know. Are you live?
We are live. You are live. Everybody's hearing you now.
My name is Nilesh Brijlal. I'm calling from Seattle, Washington right now. It's 7:00 p.m. in Seattle, Washington, USA.
Welcome to the show. Good evening.
I must say that you are a very, very intelligent man, and you are very aware of what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going to keep this very short. I'm 35 years old. I left Trinidad when I was 12 years old, and I'm originally from Rio Claro. I migrated to the United States about 20-something years ago. But my question to you tonight is, if you are placed into office, if you are selected as a commissioner, if you do select your personal commissioner of police, what are some of your tactics and what are some of your ideas to fight the crime in Trinidad and specifically the murders that's going on in Trinidad right now? What are some of your tactics and what are some of your ideas that you will introduce? And also, my second part of the question is, are you in agreement of introducing back or even mentioning the hanging, like in the flying squad days, like, Randolph Burroughs? Are you in agreement of reintroducing the hanging and also reintroducing a flying squad into Trinidad and Tobago to fight crime?
Those are two good questions. You let me answer you off air, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks a lot for calling though. Anything else you want to say before you go? Because I can still answer the questions, but anything else you'd like to say before you go?
I just want to say that, you know what, I spend a lot of time watching your videos and commenting on your videos, and you're doing a fantastic job. You're very hardworking. I see you pushing a lot into Trinidad and Tobago, but, I'm a little worried about, if you do get into office, the level of stress that you're going to endure. And, you seem like a regular civilian, a regular gentleman. I've seen your video where you went to this gated community and you went live and stuff like that. But I'm really worried about. I'm not worried about your safety and stuff like that. I'm more worried about if the government, the Trinidad and Tobago, the people and the government will absorb your ideas, because you have some very intelligent, ideas. I mean, I just want to see that. I want to see you prosper in Trinidad, but as us Trinidadians living overseas, I mean, we would love to see you prosper in Trinidad, but the corruption, the government in Trinidad it's a lot of corruption involved,
Absolutely. And I want to tell you this, and this is important, because my brother, he's been in Canada now 30 years. And he came back the other day for the first time in about 10 years. And he wants to come back home. And Joan and Anthony Sinanan, they lead the PEP Canada chapter, Toronto chapter. They're here on a little vacation. And like all the other Trinis that are abroad, they miss home and they wish we could get Trinidad to function like a first world nation that they've grown accustomed to now. And if we can have the best of both worlds, everybody will want to come back home. And that's one of our intentions, to bring everybody, to create a country where everybody wants to come back home.
And I mean, we follow you. So I mean, I have so much people here that follow you. Listen, Philip, you won't even imagine how much people watch your videos. I mean, it's crazy. But we even watched your video recently with San Fernando Hospital. The beds are not available. I mean, we watch so much things, and what amazes us is that you want the best for our country, and you even spoke about the breach of security at the gated community that day when you did a video. I mean, I don't understand. We don't know what's going to be taking place in Trinidad within the next 6 months or the next year. But you know what, Philip? You have our best wishes and you have our blessings. And please, we hope God bless you and we hope you go into power and government. But because your ideas are very realistic, not only realistic, but your ideas are so strong that it makes sense to the people,
Thanks a lot for that.
Because you
really
get down. Honestly, I'm not going to ask you on air because it's not my place. But I don't know where you get your information from. But your information is very solid. Your foundation is very solid.
We have a big research team.
And
We have a big team.
your information is waking up the country. I mean, it's really waking up the country. And I don't know where you get your information from. I don't know if you have an inside source or some type of connection. But whatever it is, that's your bit. But please, continue to do what you're doing, and you have been very impressive to the outsiders of Trinidad and Tobago, and God bless you, and please, I hope you go into office, man, because I know you're going to make a change in our country.
Thank you, my brother. Thanks a lot for the call. Have a good evening.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night. Please.
Bye.
Good night.
All right, I just want to answer those two questions that he asked quick. And he mentioned the stress and leadership. And a lot of you who are in leadership now, you all know this to be a fact. Real leadership is man management. And if you stressing, you putting the wrong people in jobs. I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park, but I'm saying that we are not a political organization that just wants to get into office to feather our nest. And a lot of these political parties that we've had as government, their projects that they've initiated had nothing to do with a better Trinidad and Tobago and a lot to do with how they could give out contracts to make money for themselves and their finances. So man management, we have a lot of good people and we know a lot of good people. There are a lot more good Trinis all over the world, and it is that we tap into when we're building out. So where the stress is concerned, I hear you, but man management and human resource management, the Prime Minister's job is to set the goal, exactly what I do in the Progressive Empowerment Party. And once you get the right person in the position, you let them run and you work with them on goals, targets, objectives, and managing time and motion, budgets, but let them do their thing. And it works. That's why the Progressive Empowerment Party is such a big and fast-growing party. Despite the fact that we don't have deep pocket finances, and despite the fact that we have a media blackout, we're still the biggest political movement in the country. Somebody said to me today, PEP put UNC in a political coma. PNM don't know if to walk or to run. The people in the country are standing up thinking, we might all just vote PEP, and there's a reason. Because for the first time, people feel like their issues are being taken seriously to the point where it's not just promises. we're taking the time to explain, to get to the bottom, like the two issues that you mentioned. You mentioned the death penalty, hanging and stuff, and the Progressive Empowerment Party has a big legislative agenda, and that legislative agenda includes recall, separating the legislature from the executive. Recall is important so that you could fire non-performing MPs. You don't have to wait 5 years. Separate the legislature from the executive. That means no member of parliament could be a minister, so that the member of parliament has a job and the minister has a job. The member of parliament oversees what the minister does, and the people get treated well. We want to abolish the THA, the RHAs, the local government system, and replace them with a constituency board of supervisors. So our legislative agenda is very big, and and we have it set to go just push play. But one of the items in that legislative agenda is referendum. And I heard Keith Rowley speaking about referendum, and I understood then, hearing him speak, that he doesn't understand what a referendum is. He thinks a referendum is an old talk. Keith Rowley thinks a referendum is you go and ask people what they think, and then you come back in the parliament and debate it. That's not what a referendum is. A referendum is an instruction from the electorate. It is like a vote at election time. It is the voice of the people. It is the will of the people. Properly enshrined in the Constitution, referendum as law will allow the people to have issues put out to debate publicly, and the people will vote and say, we want this and we want that. And for highly contentious or divisive issues, like the death penalty, we want to use referendum for that. Because we want the people of Trinidad and Tobago to be educated by both sides of the death penalty divide. There are people that are pro-death penalty, and there are people that are anti-death penalty, and there are strong and good arguments on both sides. I have my position on it, but I think that issues like that, the electorate that has to live with it should be the ones to make the decision. And in quick time, our legislative agenda, we plan to pass those laws in the first 3 months in office. So in quick time, issues like that will be put out for referendum to be instructed. The bigger question that you asked, and you asked about a flying squad, and I understand where you're going with that, because in the days of maximum leader, there was maximum bad dog, and your police commissioner needed to have kick down door artists and specialists. Listen, crime, and our crime in Trinidad and Tobago, is a function of poverty. We have juvenile delinquency acting out as crime. We have a drug trade fueling a gang culture, being supported by politicians giving gangs contracts to pay salaries to gang members, and they're getting these gang members because the home has broken, and a lot of these young men, young women too, Stuart Young's ex-stepdaughter, she ended up in a gang. She was in a gang. I don't know if she out of the gang, but I've been told, and young men and young women who do not get their needs met home, who don't feel like they're valued and they're not happy, they will go looking for that intimacy in the gang system. And that's what every psychologist, every criminologist, everybody will tell you, that in countries where the family unit is respected, where the family unit is protected, in countries where the family unit and home ownership is important, crime and gang crime is down. Our violent crime in Trinidad and Tobago that driving all of those murders is turf war to sell weed, and turf war at the behest of Mr. Biggs. And we need to take away their gunpowder. And I'm not saying this is the only way, but I'm saying this is an important thing, that we've never had a government in this country with a social development master plan. And the Progressive Empowerment Party promises jobs, home ownership, prestige education for all. Those three things. We will level the play field. When we say, like a rising tide lifts all boats, those three things is what separates the classes in society. Access to a proper income, access to a home, and access for good education for your children. After that, the next level is things like proper valuation on the money, so that a unit of work gets full value in the store, cost of living. That's important. We need to make sure if you dig in a hole in America as a job and you dig in a hole in Trinidad as a job, what you get paid in America and what you get paid in Trinidad, regardless of the totals and the amounts, when you go to the grocery and you go to the hardware and you go to the drugstore, you should be at the market, you should be able to access pretty much the same amount of stuff. And that's what we're talking about. Water in your taps. Proper structured society where the people don't have to look around for where's the leadership, where's the management. Trinidad and Tobago feels like a train that is running off the tracks and the driver missing. We need to make sure that all of our policy rebuilds the home. Once you start at the social development level and give people hope and opportunity, you will draw them away from the gangs. But for those who are not leaving voluntarily, you need to have proper law enforcement. And one of the arms of law enforcement, proper justice system, and one of the arms of proper justice system is law enforcement. And law enforcement has to be above reproach. We cannot have a corrupt police system. But corruption in this country doesn't start in the police service. Corruption, hey, listen, you see all the New World Order and thing? Another conversation for another day. Let's just focus on making our country functional, and we can. Listen, corruption in the police service doesn't start and end in the police service. Trinidad is corrupt because Trinidad is awash with drug dollars. Trinidad is awash with drug, narcotic, illegal dollars that come into this country to be laundered, and cocaine that passes through this country to be shipped to the developed world. The maritime security wall is so imperative to this. You see all the OPVs and the UPVs and the boat contracts, forget all of that. Trinidad need a proper maritime border security like New York City. See how New York City, you can't just drive a boat up to New York City, 3 miles out. If you don't stop, they sink you. That's what we want to implement. 3 miles out at sea, a virtual wall, manned by. We're going to repurpose oil barges 3 miles out at sea, equip them with fast attack helicopters and interceptor boats. We're going to connect them with a 360-degree radar, link them with sonar buoys. And those systems, 3 miles out at sea, all marine craft will be inspected and passed and sent to dedicated landing sites. You're not supposed to be able to drive a boat up on any beach, up any river. This country is not safe. We need to fix that. Trinidad and Tobago. You could get at any point in Tobago from anywhere in the world and nobody's stopping you. And then you offload whatever it is you bring to Tobago and put it on whatever is the ferry for the time. Nobody check in. We're moving mass quantities of contraband in this country, and we have no systems to stop them. We need to stop the gun trade, the human trafficking trade, the drug trade, and the illegal money trade. And the maritime security wall is one of 3 things that we're going to do to stop that. The maritime security wall is one of 3. The second thing is to move the Port of Spain to Point Lisas, to a facility 10 times the size. Move it completely out of Port of Spain to a facility 10 times the size. Right now, half the containers that come to Trinidad and Tobago, shipping containers from abroad, are not inspected. They're not even checked. So you could be bringing in anything and nobody knows. We are going to set up a port where every container that is destined for Trinidad to stay in Trinidad is unstuffed and examined on the port. I know a lot of business people would find that a terrible inconvenience. And I want to tell them, you know, there's an even more terrible inconvenience: carjacking and murder. You know, it's an even more terrible inconvenience: the 5 levels of security you have to go through to reach your house, the gun on your hip, the security following you in your car, the gated community at a drive-through, and then the next gate and the blink alarm and the all of that bullshit, that's worse. Let's unstuff the containers on the port with a maritime security wall and unstuffing the containers on the port. The last thing that's left is something called the diplomatic pouch. And in Trinidad and Tobago, the diplomatic pouch has been abused. And we are going to meet with the ambassadors and the high commissioners of every embassy and every high commission functioning in Trinidad and Tobago. And we're going to tell them, listen, the diplomatic pouch has been abused. Your documents, set that aside, but we are going to have to examine the diplomatic pouch, even if it is to pass through scanners to make sure drugs and guns aren't coming in through the diplomatic pouch. And those who are not happy with that, we're going to ask you, because we have iPhones and we have the internet, so we can keep in touch. If you don't want to help us solve the crime that's destroying this country and the corruption, the dirty money that's corrupting all offices of state, we're going to ask you to close down your embassy or your high commission for about 2 years. Because it'll take us about 2 years to switch gears, to change the culture. Once Trinidadians realize there's no more drug money in the society and the fake empires start to collapse on themselves and close down and go out of business, and real, genuine businesses take root there, we will start to have a country where the gangs can't get funded. A Progressive Empowerment Party government will not make funding available to gangs. I'll tell you why. All public works in all communities must be done from registered companies in the community. No more Junior Sammy, no more Calco, no more Kusal, no more overnight mega contractors. We will work with mega contractors for national projects. But the constituency, fixing road, building school, drain, sidewalk, in every constituency, in all 41 constituencies, each and every company that gets to do public works and public contracts must be registered in that constituency. No company could be registered in more than one constituency. No director of any company that is registered with the Works Division could be on another board. You'll get flagged and you'll get blocked. We will make sure that we provide jobs, security, and hope and opportunity in the country. That is what is lacking on the ground. People don't feel safe in Trinidad and Tobago. So all of that done, then you leave us with the police service. And I didn't forget that you asked about that. And I've had conversations with people. I actually met Bill Bratton when Gary Griffith was Minister of National Security. And I was communications advisor to the minister. When Gary brought Bill Bratton here because we wanted to talk to him and get some information. He's one of the best police commissioners in the world. And when he came here, he spoke to us about a lot of stuff. And internal affairs is important. New York City went from being the murder capital of the world to being the tourism capital of the world. And that's not a small boast to make. All of the comic books and all of these cities like the Gothams and the Metropolis and all of those cities that plagued by crime is New York City. They were mirroring and cleaning up the police service. Rudy Giuliani, say what you want about him, like him, don't like him. Rudy Giuliani broke the mafia in New York City and broke them as a district attorney, so that when he was made mayor, he knew exactly what he wanted to do to clean up the police service. And internal affairs in New York City, because I've had conversations with people who are in internal affairs in that division, and they've given me a lot of information, and they have 65,000 police officers. And they had to clean up the ranks of 65,000 police officers. We have 6,000. They say, we will clean up your police service in a year. Clean. Complete. No corruption. And rotate the members of internal affairs. When you talk to New York City police, and you could do this at will, ask them what they fear the most. They don't fear gangs. They don't fear terrorists. They don't fear violence in the street. Police officers in New York City fear internal affairs. Internal affairs have one job: find and root out corrupt police officers. Poverty in Trinidad and Tobago should not exist. We were the third wealthiest nation in the Western world. We were the third wealthiest nation in the Western world. Trinidad and Tobago was the third wealthiest nation in the Western world. We should not have poverty, and we need to fix the fact that we have poverty. I want you to listen to this.
Trinidad and Tobago. I am Philip Edward Alexander, and I thought that we should have an actual, factual conversation about our situation and circumstances as a nation. In our brief 57-year history, we've moved from the third wealthiest nation in the Western world to broke. How broke? The Minister of Finance says he has difficulty paying public servants. How rich were we? After the United States and Canada, we were richer than Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Argentina, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Bermuda, Bolivia, Brazil. We've been richer than the British Virgin Islands, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba. This Trinidad and Tobago was the third wealthiest nation in the Western world. Besides the United States of America and Canada, we were richer than Dominica, the Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador. We had more money than Grenada, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, and Jamaica. We were richer than Montserrat, Netherlands Antilles, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, St. Kitts and Nevis. As the third wealthiest nation in the Western world, we were ahead of St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, Turks and Caicos, Uruguay, and Venezuela. Now, we're broke.
That guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And we were the third wealthiest nation in the Western world. And the fact that we are broke now, and we've budgeted and spent a little over $1 trillion. But conservative estimates suggest from the oil and gas industry, we lost out on a further at least $3 trillion, if not more, dollars for our oil and gas that was looted and plundered from here. But because money was flowing and we thought that was the money, there was a show Chris Rock did. And Chris Rock was trying to explain the difference between rich and wealthy. He said Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq is rich. But the man who signed Shaq check, that guy, wealthy. And Trinidad and Tobago, we were rich, but we didn't understand that we were supposed to be wealthy. Other people did. Other people knew that we went from mud flaps and mud huts to money flowing like water. They built Mount Hope Hospital out of an inflated, you all remember that? They inflated this thing in Mount Hope and built the hospital out of that and say that we're building this hospital, germs mustn't touch us. Wow! This country spent money like it was going out of style. It wasn't all the money that we were entitled to. It wasn't our money. It wasn't all the money. And the conservative estimate is we lost about $3 trillion. $3 trillion. And for those of you who don't understand what that number means, because a lot of people don't understand what's the difference between a million and a billion. It all sounds like the same thing. A billion is a couple million. It sounds like that, right? It's not. A million seconds is 11 days. A million seconds is 11 days. A billion seconds is 35 years. A trillion seconds is 35,000 years. We've lost 105,000 years worth of money. Believe it or not. That's the kind of money we had. We had money that would have made Dubai blush. Trinidad and Tobago. Eric Williams had a contemporary, a guy named Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew became the leader of Singapore when Eric Williams was the leader of Trinidad and Tobago. And when we was boasting money was no problem, Lee Kuan Yew was trying to right-size a broken Singapore. And we had rise and fall 3 times. Boom and bust, and boom and bust. Whereas Singapore grew steadily and consistently for their 57 years. Now, Singapore just passed the United States of America. Singapore just passed the United States of America as having the most competitive economy in the world. Singapore. And Trinidad is broke. We can't pay our public servants, we can't pay our bills, we're in trouble. And Singapore don't have oil, and Singapore don't have gas, and Singapore don't have a Tobago. All Singapore have is leadership, management, and a vision for a better country. Singapore is half the size of Trinidad and Tobago. Singapore's population is 5 million people. Trinidad's gross domestic product is 22 billion US a year. Singapore's GDP is 322 billion a year. Now you tell me, all that you just heard, Google it, check it, all of it is fact. They don't have a pitch lake, they don't have oil, they don't have gas, they don't have Tobago. They don't have the second hottest pepper in the world, the best honey on the planet, the best cocoa. They don't have none of that. They just have a vision for their people, good leadership and management systems. Trinidad has nothing like that. If you ask the average Trini what Trinidad and Tobago is, nobody knows. Tobago should be the #1 tourist destination on the planet. There is no more beautiful island in the world. The old world forests, the old growth forests in Tobago are protected longer than they've been protecting forests in America. They use our laws. And I don't understand how we sit by and watch them loot and break paradise. This is Eden. We live in Eden. You don't understand, you know. Our cocoa had a disease that wiped it out. And we had a cocoa industry that was so strong, it made at one time, Tobago real estate was the most expensive real estate on the planet for cocoa. And all those houses around the savannah, all those houses that the PNM spending money on vanity projects, cocoa barons built those. Cocoa was money. And when the disease wiped out our cocoa, they ran to Venezuela and they bought cocoa seedlings and they planted them and they grew in some magic, they still don't know how, they grew in harmony with our cut down cocoa and made a new strain. As if God himself was saying, I've embarrassed you with riches. I've given you a boom of cocoa. Look at another riches here. I'll give you the best cocoa for chocolate the world has ever seen. Trinitario cocoa, our cocoa, that only grows in Trinidad and Tobago, is the absolute gold standard for chocolatiers in the world. The gold standard. Trinitario cocoa from Trinidad and Tobago is the best cocoa in the world, far ahead of #2. This country that owns the best cocoa in the world sells Charles chocolate pig food nonsense. We should be the capital of planet Earth for chocolatiers. We're not. We are peons, peasants, and pawns. We've been ruled by plunderers and bandits for all of our 57 years. People with no vision for what this country could be, what it should be. There are people in the world that know that Toko honey is the best honey for taste in the world. Toko honey, honey from Toko, Trinidad, Toko honey, judged and found to be the best in the world. We are peons, peasants, and pawns ruled by corrupt politicians and plunderers because we don't even know that, and we don't even have a honey industry, and there's nowhere for the people who are willing to be honey farmers to go and get support. Nowhere, nothing. Who are they going to go to? Clarence Rambarat in his pom-pom shorts winding up on the police vehicle? Who are they going to go to? This country is ruled by shit snakes, a jackass farm. Listen, we ain't done yet, you know. Our pepper, our Moruga scorpion pepper, is the second hottest pepper on the planet for Schofield units. And that pepper is perfect for something used by millions of servicemen and law enforcement officers all around the world, pepper spray. Our Moruga scorpion pepper, as grown, does not have to be refined, distilled, and remixed like they use others to do. To make pepper spray with Moruga scorpion pepper is simpler and cheaper than trying to make it with other sources of pepper. And we don't grow pepper, and we don't corner the pepper spray market. At least 20 million canisters of pepper spray are put into circulation every 6 to 9 months because it expires and you need to change it out 6 to 9 months. You're trying to tell me that we could dominate the global market for chocolate, honey, and pepper for pepper spray, and we beating up ourselves in this country, all our fertile land, pushing up razor grass, while friends and financiers of the PNM steal it in contract and plan. I'll make a farm today, tomorrow in Chagaramas with my farm, but it's also a fet venue. And that's just these things. We going chasing cannabis. We going chasing cannabis. We're gonna jump in a fray that already spent. It have money in it, but not for us. It's too late. We arrive at the party late where everybody drunk and hooked up. All they have now is some soggy sandwich and warm beer, and we something like we rich. We not. Faris is fooling you. They're trying to get for themselves a little chunk. The little Nahus clan trying to get a piece. But there's nothing really there. The real riches is cocoa and honey and Moruga scorpion pepper. You know the real riches in this country? Pollock avocado. Mexico sells an avocado to the United States that they make 1.5 billion US dollars a year. That is 4 times the budget of Tobago. They get 1.5 billion US a year selling an avocado quarter the size of a Pollock avocado. And our Pollock avocado, we call it butter. You could open a ripe Pollock avocado and with a butter knife take the healthiest fat on the planet and apply it direct to toast. Sprinkle salt, maybe a little garlic, and the best sandwich you'll ever eat in your life. Right there. Trinidad avocado. An avocado tree takes between 3 to 5 years to be fully grown and bearing. After that, you have to stop it bearing. Avocado don't need you to talk to it. It don't need you to water it. You don't need to come and fertilize it. You don't need to do nothing to it. So why are we not competing in the avocado market? Jamaica is making hundreds of millions of dollars with their jokey version of a mango, when the most perfect mango that has ever grown anywhere. Yeah, you gotta talk about your starch, and yeah, you gotta talk about, what's the other little stringy one that all of your calabash. You gotta talk about all of that. But the best mango, bar none, anywhere in the world that you will ever taste is a proper ripe on the tree Julie mango. A Julie mango, when you bite into a Julie mango at the right time when the skin give way to your teeth, you understand what God meant. God was trying to say something and he said it eloquently with a Julie mango. Julie mango trees will outlast your children's children and bear mango for your great-grandchildren to eat. You don't have to water it. You don't have to talk to it. You don't have to fertilize it. Just pick mango as it bear. Julie mango just bears so much mango that you just eat until you're tired. You just give it till your neighbors stop taking your call. Don't answer the door, then bring in more mango. The pipers just jump over your wall and take mango. And when them and all get fed up, even the bats they stop and mango still falling. When a Julie mango tree bear, it is bear with spite. It come to give mango. Make sure you could take. Rose, I hear all like all the starch and all the calabash and thing, but there's no mango to compare with a Julie mango. None. Nowhere, no how. Nowhere, no how in the world. And there's another one. Guava. The world is coming to guava. Guava is becoming Mr. Guava. Because what is important is the nutrient density of the fruit. A guava has 5 times the vitamin C of an orange. 5 times. That means juice for juice. 1 guava is more vitamin C than 5 orange. Come on, man. Come on. You ever had a guava tree in your yard? You ever get licks with a guava whip? There were reasons school principals and deans used to like guava whip. Because guava wood, it's flexible, but it don't break. And it's hard, it's dense. I had to, when I was a little boy, cut down a guava tree stump in our yard. And I nearly moved out of the house. A guava tree stump, guava tree does grow, and the longer it stays in the ground, the harder it gets. Harder it gets. Guava. So we had avocado, mango, guava. And that will earn us billions of dollars. Let me move on. Pomsite and pawpaw. Those 2 things, you know, I tell Trinidad and Tobago this. The Minister of Agriculture is supposed to know this. We don't have enough land if we put all of our land under pawpaw and pomsite. Because pawpaw and pomsite creates a substrate that they use to make for the fine foods and bakeries. They use pomsite and pawpaw at a certain stage in the life cycle, and you could cube it, and you could flavor it, and you could color it, and you could make anything. So, we talk avocado, mango, guava, pomsite, pawpaw. Now we talk about the 2 Mr. Bigs that we, again, all of these that I just called, you don't have to water them, you don't have to fertilize them, you don't have to talk to them. Plant it and pick. Let me talk Mr. Big. Let me talk soursop. Soursop is going to be a superfood. See all them goji and all them things all just buy smuggled out of the Amazon rainforest in a rum bottle. Good, this could save the whole family, everybody. Your gout, your arthritis, your cancer, everything gone. You know that? Soursop is about to become the world superfood. Soursop has natural anti-cancer in properties, and they compare it to better than chemo. Soursop is you have to fight a soursop tree to stop it from bearing. I'm telling you, I had a soursop tree growing up. Listen, and the only crop, again, all of these that we're talking here, is not high maintenance. The minister can't screw it up. The workers didn't show up, so the plant dead. The sun didn't shine and the rain didn't fall, and all that shit does not affect these kind of crops. These kind of crops, they survive. And the last one, and the most important one, is breadfruit. Breadfruit is going to be, in my lifetime, and if not my lifetime, my children's lifetime, the most important food on planet Earth. Breadfruit is low glycemic. Of all the starches, it is the only, not potato, not white rice, not wheat. Those three spike your sugar. Breadfruit stabilizes your sugar. That alone makes it a superfood. But breadfruit is nutrient dense, full of fiber. Fiber is important to keep your colon clean because that is the garbage chute of the human body. And the more fiber you eat, that clears all of that. It creates an opportunity for more nutrient dense food to get into your system. Breadfruit, one tree, they've estimated conservatively, one tree could feed a family of 4 for 75 years. 75 years. One tree. And they fool Trinidadians and tell them that it's slave food. So you can't find a breadfruit tree. A breadfruit tree is a heritage. You can't starve. Breadfruit with anything. You could eat breadfruit with bhaji alone. Breadfruit with anything. But when you see you start adding little saltfish, or little cow heel, little pigtail, breadfruit is Mr. Food. And because breadfruit pairs so well with green leafy vegetables and other what we call ground provision. Because ground provision, that blue food, don't everybody food, you know. When the Americans came to find out the secret behind Usain Bolt, it was an uphill trek to school and blue food in the evening. Dashi, Edos, cassava, sweet potato, fibrous food. Again, real low glycemic. You eat that and your body has energy for the rest of the day. Breadfruit. We could have in this country agriculture alone will revolutionize Trinidad and Tobago. We are the, so let's move away from agriculture. But when the Prime Minister and his crew tells you that there is nothing to diversify to, tell him he lie. This country invented a breed of hardy meats called Buffalipso. And I think the last of the Buffalipsos are being left to die. But Buffalipso steaks and Buffalipso is another thing that we should have invested in through Carney Limited when we switch away from sugar. But that's another conversation. Let me say that what we just talked about there, those billions of dollars, when the Prime Minister tell you that you can't diversify the economy, tell him he lie. When they tell you we can't grow food here and it's not sustainable, tell them he lie. The World Bank says small farms is the way to feed the world. The hyper farm experiment failed. We talk about sweet potato just now, Central Monsters. We mention it in the ground provision. Let me move away from agriculture. Let's talk tourism. Cruise ship tourism is the fastest growing tourism in the world right now. There is stay tourism, where the cruise ship sails their destination and stays for 3 days. And there are cruise ships where they come every 3 to 7 days, disembark, take their people and they go. That Trinidad would be part of on their way. Tobago, you could do joint ventures with local business and the cruise ship owners and the government, 3 partners, and create cruise ship terminals in this country in quick time. We could be docking between 10 and 20 cruise ships every 2 weeks. How I know that? 2 of the senior members of the Progressive Empowerment Party are cruise industry professionals. One of our linchpins of our economic diversification plan, cruise tourism. Because Trinidad is outside of the hurricane belt, because of where we're located, because of that, we could have 13 months a year of tourism, uninterrupted. Even the hurricane season, when everybody else have to batten down, Trinidad could be bubbling because of where we are in the world. Because of where we are in the world. And cruise ships as an industry in Trinidad, just cruise tourism, could bring about $5 billion a year to this country. Listen, when they tell you we can't diversify, and I want to tell you something else. Our budgets, our $60 billion budgets, are $30 billion too high. Most of it is wasted subsidies and transfers and CPEPs and URPs that are wasting big people's time. We need to give our people proper jobs that they can grow from and improve from. The days of the handout sufferer have to come to an end. And the rest of the taxpayers, your country shouldn't be run robbing Peter to pay Paul so Paul could vote for you. That's not how it should be. This country could be a superpower, financial superpower in quick time. Trinidad and Tobago could be the wealthiest nation in the world, on planet Earth. Cruise tourism is joke to what ecotourism could do in Tobago and Trinidad. Normal, everyday, sun, surf, sea, sand, sex. I order one. Trinidad and Tobago, perfectly poised. You don't have to overwork it. You don't have to overmark it. You just have to clean it. Give people value for money and give them service when they come. Give them service. In Mexico, Acapulco, they have 6- and 7-star hotels now, resorts. When you go to a 7-star resort, they fluffing you from the morning to the night. They have nothing you could think of that as you think of it. You know that old joke, rich is having a bell and you ring that bell and somebody come and take care of whatever needs. There are people with multiples of degrees in Acapulco working as waiters and doormen. You know why? Because in those hotels, the tips are counted in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. We could have that here in Trinidad and Tobago. First world. Marinas parking the boats. Thanks for reminding me, Kendall. That is one of the PEP's policies. We're supposed to be the #1 destination to store pleasure craft and marine craft in the world, especially during the hurricane season. We could stack them, stock them, secure them. No other island can say that they are outside of the hurricane belt. Only Trinidad and Tobago. Shipping turnaround. This is something that we never even look at in this country because of that dotish little port that we have. But we could build a facility 10, 20 times the size down in Point Lisas and get into proper shipping where companies all around the world, shipping companies, look for destinations where they have ease of transfer, because you all know shipping ships don't stop shipping. They pull over to fix and to fill up. But other than that, they're constantly on the water. And Trinidad and Tobago could be a destination because we're perfectly poised between North, Central, and South America. I mean, spitting distance on the Panama Canal. We're outside the hurricane belt. We have natural deep water harbors. We could be doing it if we wanted to. It's just we don't want to. We've never had a government that wanted to. Governments want to plunder oil and gas. Government wants to go on junkets and meet people in China and Japan and cut deals where they cut Trinbago throat. I will give it to you for $5 for one. It worth 20, I'll give it to you for 5. You give me 5, you give Trinidad 5, forget the 10. That's what they do. The largest brain coral on the planet, Joel. Not just brain coral, the largest brain coral on the planet. You all know it. You all know it. The PEP supporters know it. The Progressive Empowerment Party shows that we know if we had to fix it tomorrow, there should be a Minister of the Economy and a Minister of Diversification for the first 2 to 5 years to make sure that we get to a place. To make sure that we can get a place. Central Monsters, you saying you can repair a boat? We're talking about putting a marine university in Chaguaramas. Teach people to do everything from building boats, yachts, ships, engineering, sail making, sail rigging, nylon pool. You're like a regular follower. All of that is Trinidad and Tobago. We could do all of it. We could get our GDP to $400 billion US a year. And that's what you need to have a government doing for you. Not making excuses, not giving you bacchanal and old talk. They need to come to you and say, listen, these are the goals for the next 5 years. And this is the timeline for each of those goals. So you're not just telling me that we're going to get into the chicken industry and we're going to get it. You must tell me in timelines. When we tell you, make all schools prestige schools, we want to build 200 purpose-built schools that could each house and school 1,000 students, proper parking, proper security, opportunities for all types of education, trade. The sky's the limit. Prepared to deal with children at the point in their lives when they want to explore what their natural tendencies are. We're not trying to force everybody to climb a tree. Some people want to swim in the sea. You could have that, a country with a vision. Trinidad and Tobago has never, at no time ever, had a government that had a vision for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. All that bullshit that Lockjack and Manning Right Vision 2020, that was 1% eater food nonsense. None of it was based on what is best for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But you could do that. You could have that if you want that. At the end of the day, people talk about the size of the following, and people talk about how much. I mean, I get the love. I feel the love. I went in a new roti shop today. They open the door, they come outside, they take pictures with me, they love me, plenty of conversation. I just come out of the bank and everywhere, you all treating me like a celebrity, and I can't lie, I loving it, I enjoying it, but it's not enough. It's not enough, it's not about me. And I'm big enough and I have sense enough to know that all of that not helping us if we don't win. I tell the PEP, I tell the members in the Progressive Empowerment Party, I tell them, don't look for accolades. Don't look for head patting. Nothing is good enough until we win. Nothing. Nothing is good enough until we win. And we need to win decisively so that we can put all of these things in place and leave the opposition parties chasing each other's tail. We need to reinvent Trinidad and Tobago. We need to undo and redo large parts of how this country is run. And we need a special majority in Parliament to do that. We need to reboot this republic. That's the name of our manifesto. Reboot the republic. We are at a place now, for the first time in our history, where the political directorate and the established elite have to come to terms with the fact that the masses of people have been awoken, informed, educated, and empowered. It is a momentum that cannot be stopped. All of those videos, thousands of hours of videos, millions of words written, are in the public space. You can't stop it. It's not one profile. You can't shut it down. It's everywhere. And it's pervasive. And people talking, people sending my own stuff back to me, and I love it. I love hearing all of them. I love hearing all the politicians now mouthing PEP policies. And that's cool. That's cool, because we can't talk this enough. We can't talk real change enough. And we need change that redounds to the benefit of everybody. And I'll tell you the one more thing, that a lot of people in this country, this is what you need to hear from your leaders. We will create financial service regulations to pull the banking sector back to serving the public. We will open the economy to competition. We will bring foreign banks, large banks here, to give competition to RBC and Republic and Scotia for all these fees and all of this bad service they're giving people. People telling me, you go to RBC with a check from a customer of RBC, but because you are not a customer of RBC, they're telling you flat out they're not cashing the check. Now, how is that not madness? How is that not insanity? Where's the government? Where's the leadership? Where's the Minister of Finance? Where's the central bank governor? Where are they? Nowhere to be seen. Vote yourself a government that will fix all of that. Vote yourself a government that's willing to go back to 1962 and open every single contract, every single project, I may not be able to take the money back from them, but I'll be able to expose, name, and shame them. And I want you to know, all of those who stunting as lords and ladies, I see people who involved, and they're involved in the most heinous and reprehensible activities and talking about they make their money hard work. Hard work, my ass. I know that you did the hard work you were working hard at was illegal activities. But listen, long rope for MAGA goat. Night is run till day catch it. That's what the old people say. Now is the time. Now is the absolute time. There is no better time. And if you want a better country for yourself, to come home to grow old in, to raise your children in, there is no other chance. There is no other time, and there is no other political organization like the Progressive Empowerment Party. We've changed the national conversation. We worked hard at it tonight, Friday night. I drive past Stanmore Avenue to find Felicia and Satish. She working on Pan Posse, Satish and the team getting the place ready. Friday night, come on. These are people that have families. These are people that have lives, that should want to go out and do stuff too. But you know what? They're committed. The people ask me about the volume of work I put out. I put out that volume of work because I am surrounded by people so committed to this country. So committed. Our deposits, our financiers, for want of a better word, the members who give us the $5 and the $10 a month, it is you that keep me working. Because as long as you believe in this dream, I believe in this dream. And it's together we're going to do this. Listen, I realize a lot of people outside there, their job is just confusion. Their job is just drama. Some people, they must like drama. Some people, they must like suffering and pressure because they're defending it. They're not our conversation. 60% of the people of Trinidad and Tobago do not want anything to do with the PNM and the UNC. I believe a large portion of the 40% that have been voting each other out, they too looking for somewhere to go. I'll tell you something. The Progressive Empowerment Party, we don't care where you come from, you know. We don't care which party you was a member of. You could have been wearing a red shirt this morning, you joined PEP this evening, you're Pepper, you know. You could have been wearing a yellow shirt last night, you joined PEP this morning, you're Pepper. We don't care. We've all been in other people's party. This is now our party. Wherever you are in the country now, if you're looking around and you're realizing that the leadership of your party regurgitating the same bullshit that they're talking for the past 40 years, and you know it ain't getting us nowhere, and you don't feel motivated, you don't feel like they're capturing your heart and your mind and setting you on fire for a better day, I could come here with a big mohawk or a pocket square and stunt for you. Look at me. I just want to give you information. At the end of the day, at the end of each and every day, we all have to go to sleep with ourselves and live with the consequences of all the actions and all the decisions we did and made that day. And I want to make sure that when I lie down to sleep at night, I sleep like a baby. Like I know, no matter what, I have done my part. My father told me, make sure those to whom much is given, much is expected. That's why I am in this. I grew up in a family of people who've been committed to charity and country. And this is what I know. And I'm surrounded by people who have an insatiable thirst for a better Trinidad and Tobago. And it is them that takes us where we need to go. If you want a better country for yourself, for your family, no matter who you are, no matter who you pray to, no matter who you lie down with at night, those things don't matter. We are your political servants. Father Harold Imamshah, who blessed us when we formed the party, he said, be leaders who serve and be servants who lead. And that has stayed with me and has never left me for all this time. And that's my commitment. Because at the end of the 5 years, because I am only willing to serve one term, but at the end of the 5 years, I want to be able to feel comfortable, to retire to a country that is functional, passed on to people, systems set up that unbreakable, systems set up that will take care of the country into the future, that others could now come. We've done the work, we cut the road, we laid the pipes, we put on the subsurface. You can take it from there. We want a better country. If you want that, forget your past. Forget what you supported before. Forget what your mommy and your tanty and your papa. Listen, I knew somebody whose father was PNM and mother was UNC. I said, well, you ought to be bipolar. Because what you going to do? Forget all of that. Forget it now. Forget PNM till are dead. You know how much people use that phrase, PNM till are dead and dead? That went to their final reward with nothing? That instead of getting the benefits of voting for a political movement that would change the country and reward them for making that choice, they're dead with nothing? We cannot continue to be a country that turn a blind eye to 540 people murdered. We can't. We can't continue to peddle political lies. I had to tell Kirk Megu yesterday. And Kirk is a guy I respect, he's a brilliant guy, but the UNC chaining him up. And the UNC sent out this thing with 20 or 30 years of murders. And they had this little red box between 2010 and 2015, where it had a sharp decline and then decided to go back up. And I told Kirk, I said, Kirk, you know that was the illegal state of emergency that did nothing, that accomplished nothing. All it did was shut the country down. And if you vote a government into office that takes away all your civil liberties and all your human rights and get everybody in their house at 6 o'clock every night, you'll have no crime. But you won't have a free democracy. And you have to choose. You can have those numbers unless. And Aslan Rasputin told him 400 murders is not something to be proud of. We need to have 0 murders like the Bahamas. Or we need to be, our murder rate need to be 0. That's what we need to aim for. We need to be like those countries that don't sell locks and padlocks. Nobody don't close their door in their business again because nobody thieving. Everybody have hope and opportunity and they're working for theirs. We could talk and talk and talk. For this to become a reality, we need each and every one of you to evangelize the movement, tell other people, just pay it an open mind. Yeah? We use harsh words like jackass and bullshit because we want to shake people out of their slumber. But we have the soundest policies that have ever been put before this country. And we don't just throw fancy words at you. We break it down. We go from the problem side. We show you why the problem exists. And we show you why the solution will work and how it will work and how much it will cost and how much time it will take and where on the timeline it should be. Short term, medium term, long term. We could get to where we need to get to. You need to vote for us. You need to be registered to vote for us. You need to get everybody voting for us. We have to vote ourselves forward. We have to vote ourselves a better country. That's what we have to do. We have to vote ourselves security, vote ourselves water in the taps, vote ourselves prestige education for all our children, vote ourselves jobs, vote ourselves home ownership for all, vote ourselves a functional system of government. Vote that. Vote law enforcement and work on a justice system on time. Vote for that. That's what we're talking about. Vote for a real country that could stand alongside all the other first world and developed countries. We don't have small goals, you know. We have a 400 billion GDP target. We have stand among the rest of the world, go back to being one of the richest countries in the world, first world and developed. We want 0 crime. We want no drug trade. We want an end to corruption. We want an environmental bill of rights, an animal bill of rights, and a people's bill of rights. We want a country where every creed and race do in fact find an equal place. And it's safe to raise families and to grow old. We want that. I want that. Because if after this election, we not in office, I gone. I don't want to be here for when the Titanic hit the iceberg. I've seen how that movie ends. I'm not interested in that. We have a chance. Let us use the chance. Don't tell me that I left. I will leave when I think that our people not serious about their own self-preservation. So don't point on me when the ship finally crashed. You want a better country. You're going to have to vote for it. You're going to have to register. Make sure you're available. You need to help us with volunteering, with assistance, with financial donations. All of this tonight. This has a value. All of it. Help us. Get involved. If you're in Toronto, if you're in New York City, if you're in Florida, if you're in England, we have chapters in all of those communities. If you're in Trinidad and Tobago, stand up. We have a couple of months between elections, and you either invest it in something that has a chance of giving us a better country, or you wait it out and hope for the best, and hope you don't choke on that popcorn while you're watching other people slave to rescue all of us. This is a we thing. It is going to require all of us. Get involved. Come on board. The Progressive Empowerment Party, there are members who will tell you, I joined 3 months ago and I'm in the leadership of the party. We don't mix matters. Once you have love of country and ability, you go as far as you want to go. This is a chance. Where in Toronto do you have a chapter? Anthony Senanan, Joan Senanan, Kezia Rampol, look out Errol Sitahal, look out for any of those names and just tag them. After the video, I will find you and tag those people to you and they will get in touch with you. Trinidad and Tobago, thanks a lot. It was going to be a calm Friday night line, but no, I wanted to talk serious thing and look how long the show went on. I enjoyed it. I like having the opportunities to talk policy, and I guess we don't do it enough. So we'll do more of that. Monday morning, this Monday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 to 8, we launch Pep Talks in the morning with myself and Anthony Defoe. This Sunday, Pep Pan Posse. Come and join us. Come and take a line with us. Just pay for your ticket. Walk away drinking. If you're a member of the PEP and you want to come and it's a good opportunity to shake hands and meet the followers and stuff. But we have a policy, we don't drink when we're working and we don't work when we're drinking, and it's an opportunity to have a good time. So if you'd like to be a part of it, link up with us. Felicia Holler's number 769-4590. She's the Minister of PAN. Get in touch with her. Until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago. Right, it's not shutting down.